Welcome back. The time has come for me to test out the new bobbin that I made for my antique spinning wheel. And I do have a bunch of flax that is ready to spin up. But first, some coffee. And that's one bobbin done. And I did not have any problems whatsoever with this new bobbin, so I am pretty satisfied. It's a new day, new possibilities. Yesterday I finished spinning one of the bobbins. This is actually the bobbin that I made myself. And so far so good. I have no complaints whatsoever at the moment. Actually, I think the weakest point in this wheel now is the flyer, and it's this mechanism here that I have to move back and forth. It's not entirely stable, so I think I have to carve out a little wedge here to make it stay in place. Per now, I've been adding a piece of leather and whatever fits in there, but that's not ideal. So I think I'll just carve a small wedge. I did have one from before, but then I lost it. I don't know where it went. Anyway, I hope to finish up one bobbin still, and maybe if I get enough time, I'll be able to play it as well, but we'll see. I do have other things to do outside today. It's finally turning around. I think this has been one of the few weeks when it's been over 5 degrees Celsius, so everything's starting to thaw out, and I have to prep the garden for the spring as well. I've been at it the whole day. I've been out in the garden. Luckily, it was a really nice day. It was rather warm and the snow is more or less melted, and it was a great chance for me to start trimming some of the trees while they're still in their dormant state. And in that process, I did manage to salvage, or not salvage, but keep some of the thicker branches that I cut off. And I intend to use that for some woodworking later on. Maybe I'll end up making another spindle or something a little bit more practical. Maybe a cup or something. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet, but I will keep those in storage until I decide to use them. Hopefully they don't dry too quick and crack, but we'll see. I am a little bit tired now. It's later in the evening, but I do want to get into some spinning before I go to bed, and then we'll just take it from there. Some of the woad has started to grow at last, but the indigo hasn't taken up. That was a little bit disappointing. I'm wondering if the seeds were way too old. Maybe. I will still let them be. Hopefully they sprout in about a week, but it's actually been more than 2 weeks now, so I'm a little bit concerned. So I have been spinning for 2 weeks now, and so far I've only have this much. I think it looks great. I have been spinning on my antique wheel, but I have been plying it with my newer Kromski wheel because that one has a lot more capacity and I just wanted to make a bigger skein. I do have quite a lot more flax left. I think I'll manage to make 2 more skeins this size, and when I'm done with that, I want to treat them together. I read online that you can naturally bleach them with washing soda, but I've never tried that before, so I don't know. There's nothing necessarily wrong with this. I mean, it's natural flax color, but I would like to make it a little bit brighter just to test it out. I mean, I guess I could have just tested out a small amount, but go big or go home. Anyway, I have been spinning on my antique wheel using my self-made bobbin, and I'm happy to say that I have not had any problems whatsoever, which is a great relief. And I think I've been enjoying this wheel quite a lot. Like, it spins very consistently. It doesn't run away from me, and it's just a pleasant experience. I don't mean to say that my newer Kromski wheel isn't as pleasant. It just has a different feel to it. Like, I feel that I can make more delicate yarn with this because it goes a lot slower maybe. And then I was also thinking, if I had managed back in the day to make a bobbin, actually even a third bobbin, maybe I would not have bought my new wheel because this antique wheel is so nice. But I say that now. I say that as somebody that has the luxury to have 2 really nice wheels, and who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? I enjoy the Kromski wheel quite a lot because it handles quite a lot, and you know what? I take it back. I would have still gotten it. Don't listen to me. Let's just get to some spinning. Oh yes, and before we get to that, I have been working on some of my stash here, so I've been making a hat here. I think I'll be done with this later during the week, maybe if I get at it tomorrow, but I'm not in a hurry, and I just like to take this when I'm bored and I'm sitting and watching TV or something. Then this is nice. The spinning wheel, it requires a little bit more attention, and I usually do it in this room, so it's another type of activity. Anyway, enough talking, let's get to some spinning. And I've also recently been into audiobooks. I didn't know this was my thing. Like, I like to read physical books, but I gave it a go, and some of those books out there, they're really good, especially if you get somebody with a really nice voice, and if they can do multiple voices per character. It's not monotonous, it's not boring whatsoever. It's quite entertaining, actually. So I've been doing quite a lot of that, and I recently finished the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, which is 7 books. I guess I would consider that fantasy, sci-fi. I think they describe it as RPG lit. I didn't know I was into that, but wow, that book is something. And I finished the last book yesterday, and I feel very sad that it's over. I mean, there's a new book coming out in May, I believe. But you know, when you're really immersed in a world and you finish like a really good book or a really good series, and then you have to wait the next year or however long for the next one to come out. It's just, you feel a little bit empty inside, like the end of something has come and you weren't ready for it, and then it just happened to you. That's how I feel right now. I did go on Reddit to see if there were any books similar to this to fill that void in my heart. But no, I mean, I read a few posts that said that you're basically damaged and you won't find a book as good as that one. I laughed when I read that. Of course, there are very good books out there, and maybe that was a bit unique, one of a kind, not my usual read, I guess. But anyway, that was a lot of fun. If you're skeptical to audiobooks, I would give them a go. I was super skeptical about it, but you know, sometimes when you're traveling or just sitting somewhere and you don't want to watch YouTube or shows or whatever is online, you just want to disconnect and find another source of entertainment or reality escape, an audiobook is great for that. Anyway, I'm ranting. So I'm looking forward to May and to listening to book 7 of that series. What is going on with this? Let's see. It was working so well. I was just saying how glad I was to spin with this wheel, and now it's like, oh, I just realized that I actually don't need to ply any of this. I can have a single ply and have a more finer, maybe a bit shinier, smoother result. I am thinking about starting a weaving project, and I am afraid that if I do have a lot of high tension, that the string might snap off. I should be using a bit more water to smoothen this out, but in any case, I have this much that is plied already. I will leave that as is. And then earlier in the week, I finished one bobbin and I'm halfway done with another one here. I'm not gonna apply those, I'm just gonna finish this up, and then I'm gonna treat it with washing soda and then see what I get. I still have plenty of wax left, but I think this gives me enough for a project. I hope. I've never done weaving. If I need more, then I'll just spin more, right? Anyway, I have half hour before I need to get going, so let's just get to it. And well, maybe I should fetch myself a little water. And my self-made bobbin here is living its best life. I'm still amazed that I managed to do this with the crude tools that I had. That was half an hour. I barely made a dent, but I'm pretty satisfied so far. I will have to leave it at that because I have to do some other type of spinning at the gym now. Maybe, I hope I'll have enough energy to continue this evening, but if not, Easter holiday is coming up and I should have a little bit extra time because I did take some days off work. I'm really looking forward to that. All these projects waiting for me. Anyway, I need to go. Wow, that took forever, but I finally finished the 2 bobbins, and it's just the 1 ply, and I am going to leave it at that. I do want to do a weaving project with this. It's pretty thin and it's nice and glossy. I really like how this looks. If I do ply it, I'll end up getting something a bit thicker like this. This is fine, but I want to leave this as is for now. I do have about 300 grams of flax left, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to just spin this, and then I have this much. I may end up blending the leftover flax with something else in the future, so that's yet to be decided, but let's make a skeins out of this. And the more I'm looking at this, the more I want to keep it as is. I was thinking of treating it with washing soda, possibly consider bleaching it, but you know what, this color is really growing on me and I'm afraid of missing or losing that sheen. And I also saw online that the more you wash it and handle this, the flax gets a lot more softer. So yeah, let's just leave it at that. That's pretty nice. Oh, and I did finish the orange hat. Pretty happy with it. It's a gift, so not really my color per se, but the person getting this really likes orange, so that's that. And let the record show that I don't even own any cats, and it's just amusing for me to see that the neighborhood cats use my garden as like their fighting ground or their napping ground. I see random cats in here all the time. Occasionally they fight. One time I just heard a loud squeak from outside, and then I went out to see what was going on, and there was a humongous piece of white fluff on the grass. And you know me, I'm like, ooh, it's like wool, can I spin this? Obviously not, but it was amusing. Like, they have been going at it. Anyway, and of course the time that I do take days off work, I get sick. This is the way. I'm not gonna let that stop me. That's one done. Has quite a lot of twist in it. I am going to give this a soak, but for now I'll store it in skein form. Oh, it's a lot of residue. That's pretty nice. Let's do the other one. Now I can tell that towards the end I've gotten quite a lot better I think this is the thinnest I've ever spun, and it's super consistent. I'm looking forward to using this. It makes me think that I might just use my antique wheel to spin the silk that I have. I was not expecting that. And that was that. Here we have a 2-ply and then a single ply. The color on this, it has really grown on me, and it has this beautiful sheen on it. I don't even think that the camera catches it, but it's really nice. Now, I'm not quite sure what I'll weave with this. It will obviously have to be something small. I won't be warping with this at all. Maybe I'll choose cotton or wool. I haven't decided yet, but it will be a small project. I guess a test project to begin with. Maybe a kitchen towel or a handkerchief or something along those lines. But in any case, I'm pretty satisfied with this. And if I do end up making something larger, then I do have 300 grams left to spin up. So that's a possibility. I do notice that I like to take breaks between spinning projects. Like, I go into them thinking that I will use them for something in specific, but then the whole project develops as I finish it up, and this is a good example of that. I want to take my time thinking what I'll do with this. I'm not going to rush it. But yes, I think this was an overall success, and I did test out my wheel, which is great. And towards the end, I ended up making really fine yarn, and this was with my self-made bobbin, so that's a success. That surprises me a bit, actually. A little bit worrisome because, well, it makes me think that I should put a little bit more extra effort on the flyer and maybe fix that as well. I haven't decided yet. Anyway, let's leave it at that for now. I do have some other projects that I want to start with today, but that's another video for another time. Thanks for watching. See you next time.